Hey, board gamers, BJ from Board Game Gumbo here, back with another episode of Gumbo Live. It's episode number 72, Gumbo Live, the number one Facebook Live talk show dedicated to board gaming. Our special guest tonight, Miklos and Starla Fitch from Our Family Plays Games. We're going to be talking about some of the games they played, the gaming community out there in Houston, and some tips for growing the hobby, including bringing in some diversity to the hobby. Board Game Gumbo is a fine member of Punchboard Media. Check out some of our other fine members like the Eternally Bored podcast and the YouTube show. We were just talking about them in the pre-show. Charles and Treya from Houston, and they focus on the heavier issues of the industry, and they celebrate diversity in this growing hobby. Punchboard Media, where we all bring something to the table. Hey, hit us up on social media tonight, on Twitter at Board Game Gumbo, or on Facebook at facebook.com/Board Game Gumbo, and we'll be looking for your questions on the chat. But enough blather. Let's get right to our guests, Miklos and Starla Fitch. Hey, welcome to the show.
Hey.
You guys are always on the other side of the screen, lobbing questions and talking to the guests. How's it feel to be on a live Board Game Gumbo?
It's a little different, but we like it.
Yes.
So, you've heard the opening. Give us the elevator pitch. What is Our Family Plays Games? How to get started?
Starla?
Well, it got started because we wanted to be a part of the diversity in the gaming hobby, and we didn't see a lot of that. So we talked about our family plays games all the time. So why don't we start our own Facebook page talking about some of the games we play, and hopefully what we do will attract others to get into the hobby as well. And we just started off on a whim, and now we've got a growing following, and we love talking about what we do in the board gaming hobby.
And you guys are prolific posters. You're always posting out on Facebook and all these other things. Hey, there's a bunch of people already checking in. Here's the producer of the show, Steve O'Rourke. He says, good evening, all. Looking forward to a fine gumbo.
Yes.
And you guys are looking forward to his game later on, I'm sure, right?
Oh, no.
Hey, here's my buddy Sean, Mr. Sean Jones. Evening, everyone. Looking forward to the conversation. And she looks familiar, Laura Rosa. That might be my mom checking in. Hey, Mom, what's up? I got to see her this past last week, but I didn't get to see her this weekend because of the convention that you and I are going to be talking about pretty quick. Yeah. And there's Verla checking in. Verla, always a pleasure to have her. She says, I've been looking forward to this one. She says, hi, Miklos and Starla. Hey, Verla, I remembered to change the calendar this month, but I have no idea what game this is. Can you guys see that up there at all? I'm not sure if you guys can see it. I have no idea. We're gonna need Verla. This is one she's got me stumped on. I've known the other three, but I don't know what game this is in that gaming calendar. So I can't wait to hear about it. So what was the impetus behind starting the Facebook page? So how did that come up?
Well, starting the Facebook page, we wanted to show, like Starla touched on, we want to show that we do play games because we're kind of a rarity in the hobby. We're a Black family that plays board games. You don't see that a lot, especially the modern ones. So we wanted to show that, hey, we play games, and these are the type of games we play. And we want to show everybody, our friends and family, that you're like, what is that? You guys don't play Monopoly no more? No, we don't. So we show what we do.
Yeah.
So Verla says it's the Everdell game. Oh, man.
Oh, Everdell.
I haven't played Everdell yet. Have you guys played Everdell?
No, I want to play.
There's no one in my area has a copy. At least I haven't seen one yet. I've seen it at BGG Con. It looks very impressive. So Verla, I'm jealous. She plays a lot of the games, and that's one that I just have not gotten to. One of the things that I've been curious about with you guys, one of the shows that I listen to on a regular basis is our friends over at the Spiel. Stephen and Dave, and of course now Doug, that Dave is retired from the show, they've been around forever with the Spiel-a-thon, with all their publication of all the different games they play. I saw them walking around BGG Con with those coats. You just can't miss those coats, I'm telling you.
No.
But how did that come about that you guys got on the Spiel? I mean, that's kudos to you guys.
Well, I've always followed the Spiel and always conversated with them on Facebook and things like that. And Steven said, hey, I'm thinking about, when the last co-host retired and he was going to bring on Doug, he said, I think I'm going to bring on some more contributors. And he asked, do you guys want to try and maybe come on and show what you do? Because he was impressed at how we were talking about diversity and inclusion. And he said, can you guys maybe come on board? And we immediately said, yes, we want to come on board and talk about what we want to talk about. And that's inclusion and diversity in this hobby. And he was glad to bring us on, and we're there. It was as easy as that.
And so you're going to do kind of a mix of the social issues, but also talk about your love of games at the same time?
And also about gateway games, because we've found out to bring more people of color into the hobby, the gateway games are important because they're used to the Monopolies and the Life, the Sorries, and the Clues of the world. And we're going to say, hey, there's a lot more things out there that's a whole lot better. And a lot of those gateways help that.
Speaking of gateway games, I want to talk about my friend Marshall. Marshall's the head of the Sinlaw group, and he came down to help us. He says, hey, all, good to see you. Still have your voice, BJ. Marshall, I don't have much voice left, so I told Miklos and Starla they're going to have to carry this show because Marshall and I were working the gateway games area, and you're exactly right. It's not just black people down here in the South. It's almost all of the new gamers. We need to remember that the first time you get into hobby, if you've played nothing but the mass market games coming in, and then someone throws a Coimbra like we're going to talk about later on the show, you might get turned off to the hobby. But if you do like you guys do, and you introduce these games with great gateway mechanics where they can wrap their minds around it and see how much fun board games can be, it's going to bring it in. Hey, we got a special one here. Shinye LaSalle, all the way from Japan, checking in. Shinye LaSalle, designer of New York 1901, who I have come to become friends with in the hobby, and I always respect his opinions. He says, Miklos and Starla, passionate Houston gamers and great supporters of board gaming through their involvement in local media. Thank them for me. Shinye used to live in Houston. I don't know if you guys knew that.
He was in the Canadian embassy here in Houston, and that's how we got to meet him and learn about New York 1901. And he became a good friend.
Well, to be actual, he taught us how to play New York 1901
before it came out.
Wow, what a story! I didn't even know that about you guys. This is not in the notes. I had no idea that you guys knew Shinye. I used to make Shinye jealous because I had all these little buildings from New York 1901, and I finally hooked him up with a set from the guy that made it. So Shinye, I'm still waiting for that second game.
We're waiting for that second game too. We're waiting too. I'm waiting for an expansion, actually.
Yeah, sure. Steve O'Rourke reminds us, Gateway and Filler Game Group. That's right. Out on Facebook, there's a fantastic group run by Chuck Yeager called the Gateway and Filler Game Group. That's how I've met a lot of these people like Verla and different people. It's a great one. Yeah, it's a great one to promote. As you know, it's a great one to promote the hobby. And Shinye says he remembers it very well teaching you guys that New York 1901 game.
Because the one thing Starla asked, he was trying to talk about the game a little bit and, the premise and everything and the theme. Starla stopped him. Excuse me, how do you win the game? That's all she wanted to know. How do you win the game? That's all Starla wants to know. How do you win this game?
And it's things like that we want to be able to help newcomers to understand, because a lot of times you get overwhelmed with all the rules. I'm not a rules person.
No,
my husband is the rules person. I just want you to tell me, how do I, what I have to do to get started? How do I win? And then I can figure it out from there.
And then she beats us.
I just don't like 100 rules, and sometimes the rules are a little overwhelming. So we've got to figure out ways to shortcut that to get people into it, and then they'll eventually go to the rules and make sure they're playing it right. But he's the rules person. He makes sure that we're playing it right. We know what we're doing, but that's not me.
She gets tired of Rodney Smith on. I watch it.
Watch it played.
Watch it played. She gets tired of him. I'm tired of seeing Rodney. I'm like, come on. Why are you tired of Rodney?
Just give me the basics and how do I win? That's what I want to know.
And don't you guys agree that at some level, all of us like to play, that next level of games? Every once in a while, I like to break out Lisboa or any one of those tough games. But for the most part, on my Wednesday night game nights, there's nothing I like better than breaking out a game like New York 1901 that you can teach in 5 minutes, that has a lot of deep strategy in it, and yet you still have a good time, and you can think and talk at the same time while you're playing it. You know what I mean?
Well, just like one game that you guys played at the convention, Downforce. That's a great game
we love
to play. We love Downforce. We have all the expansion promos, everything. We love Downforce.
And usually when we show it to other people, they love it as well.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, my Gumbo game group, I love it. most of the guys that play heavier games, they've always kind of said meh to it. At the convention, can I tell you guys, that game was played non-stop. Yeah. I had people coming up to me going, this is one of the best games I've ever played. And it reminded me that there are people in the hobby that are like me, that they like that little 60-minute Euro, 90-minute Euro, 45-minute Euro with some simple mechanics, but a lot of deep strategy. And we need to promote those games to make sure the publishers know we want those games in the market.
Yes. Yeah.
Steve O'Rourke says it's the responsibility of people inside the hobby to open up the door and be welcoming to those peeking and wondering if they want to step through. And that brings me to a question for you guys. Mm-hmm. So tell me, what are some good tips that y'all have? You guys have dealt with game stores, with game cafes, talking to designers. What's some good tips that we can bring to our local game stores and our local conventions to ensure that we get diversity, to make sure people are feeling welcome at the conventions?
Well, I really think that you should have more teaching nights or teaching times for people to come in and actually learn how they're played, the games are played. When you walk into a gaming convention and everyone's playing, it can be overwhelming. A gaming cafe, and how we got into it, but my husband was really adamant about learning. So we had the advantage that he was going to learn it no matter what. Mm-hmm. But when we went to the first gaming cafe where we met Charles Washington, it could have easily been a night where we walked away because everyone was playing these big, huge games. Nobody was really saying, hey, come play with us. But Charles saw
did.
that
Charles
and he's like,
did.
I'm going to teach you guys a game.
Yeah.
He welcomed us in. He taught us a game. He was patient with us. And we went back several times to play. But a lot of people, they're into their own thing and they don't make you feel welcome. So you really got to have someone who's going to say, I'm going to be an ambassador, or someone who's going to welcome those newcomers in.
So a greeter, an ambassador there at the store, somebody dedicated to say, hey, come on in, let's find you a game.
That's right.
And don't be afraid to talk to anybody. If an African-American comes in your store, don't be afraid. I've had some stores that they wouldn't talk to me. I walked around, no one said anything, and I just walked right on out. Mm-hmm. But there's others that, I went to Dragon's the other day. One lady, she was really nice, talked to me, said, hey, do you know everything? Do you know anything? Do you need any help? I'm like, thanks a lot. Yeah. And I said, well, no, I know everything. And, so just be friendly, warm, don't shut out anybody.
Yeah, and we had that this year. We didn't really have it last year. This year we had 2 or 3 people right at the door, welcoming people, pointing them out the different areas. If you guys go to conventions, you guys go to Alcon and other places. Yeah. Once you get that first convention out, you kind of know what's going on. Yeah. But if you're a newcomer to the hobby and you walk into a room with 300 people all playing games, it looks like a big private party.
Yes.
We need to make sure that people understand, no, you just walk right up to the table, ask people what the game's about, look for those signs. I don't know if you guys do this, but we have signs that say players wanted or teacher wanted, to make people feel welcome. Do you think?
Definitely.
Because we did a con, like a little small con that we associated with a big African-American church here in town. And we had a little con, and we made sure that whenever anybody came in, we talked to them, sat them down, helped them out. Me and Starla didn't play no games that whole weekend. But we were over there running around talking to everybody.
We did it twice. It was 2 years in a row. Yeah. But the first year we only did 1 day. The second year we did 2 days.
Yes, we did.
So we did grow a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saturday's con, I was laughing when I got back from my wife. I said, I'm too tired to go to game day tomorrow, and she's like, you're going to go to the game day? I said, no, I'm too tired. She said, but you just been at a convention all day. I said, Linda, I played 2 games the entire day. Exactly. When you're up there at the front, you really don't get much of a chance if you're trying to be a greeter. So I needed a convention so I could play.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, Gordon's checking in, said, sorry I missed the convention. Hope you all had a good turnout. Gordon, this year 2 for the Southern Board Game Fest was phenomenal. We basically sold out. We had, I don't know if we could have put any more people in there. We had about 250 people show up, plus our volunteers. So we're hitting close to that 300 number. It was a fantastic event. Just big enough, Miklos and Starla, where whatever game you wanted to play, you could find. Yeah. But just small enough where you would see the same people all day, over and over, and you
Now
could greet people.
it's in Lafayette, right?
It's right here in Lafayette.
Okay.
We had it on the campus of University of Louisiana at Lafayette in their big giant new student union center. They spent a couple $1 million to rebuild this thing, and it was in the ballroom. So we had 480 chairs and just tons of tables. Just a wonderful experience. We had the crew from iHeart Board Game that was broadcasting live for all day for 12 hours from 9 to 9. We had our own little unpub section that we called Go Pub with the EAUX. We got to throw in a little EAUX in there.
You do have to do, yeah.
And at the Go Pub, we didn't have a Papados though, Starla. We didn't have any Papados, unfortunately.
Shame on you.
I know. Well, it's tough having a Papados in Lafayette when you can go to Poche's right down the road. You know what I mean? It's tough.
Louisiana.
Yeah, but we did have a little Go Pub section, so we had about 5 or 6 designers, including we had those 2 guys, the Board Game Brothers from New Orleans, that did the Rap Gods Kickstarter.
Yes.
They got another game coming out.
I think they have 2 they're trying out. It's one about basketball and the other one about spray can painting. I think. That's
the one they brought. They brought Graffiti Knights.
That's right.
KNIGHTS. And it took a little while. They were kind of they got there a little late. So by the time the convention was rolling, they were kind of in the back. And after a while, people started hearing about them, and we made a couple announcements. And all of a sudden, they had a full table of gamers.
That's cool.
And from what I hear, they got some good feedback for that. So look for that on Kickstarter coming out soon. Graffiti Nights. I don't know anything about the basketball one. That one you'd have to tell me a little bit about. I don't know that one.
I think it was one where they, it's a 2-player game where you go back and forth playing basketball. And I forgot what it is, but I thought they're trying to put it together. Cause the guy who designed it, he's going to like some unpub conventions around, trying to get it together. Yeah, but I am following them because I want to try Rap Gods, the one that they made, Rap Gods. I want to try that one out.
It should be, from what he was telling me, it should be delivering, in the next couple of months. So it's in production right now. So it should be pretty good. Cool. So what's the Houston gaming scene for those people living in the South that are watching the show, or people on business? Because Houston keeps sucking in all our oil and gas business from Louisiana. Pretty soon we're all going to be living in Houston. Yeah. So what's the gaming scene like? For visitors to Houston, what's the gaming scene like that? What's the places to go?
It's really blowing up. Just like I said, that we have our first board game cafe, TN Victory. We have another semi kind of board game cafe, video game, Coral Sword. We have a lot of different board game stores, opening up around town. So it's really doing well. Now the only complaint I have is that we don't have a big board game convention. We have the small ones like OwlCon, MadCon, and then we have the gaming theory Houston, but we don't have like a big one that's here.
What do you think is the reason for that? Is it because BGG Con, it's kind of the focus for Texas gamers, or is there the reason?
I think maybe BBG Con is the focus, but I wish BBG would come down here, because I'm the 4th largest city in the nation. We should have that because we have a lot of gamers in Houston. I haven't met most of the gamers around this town. It's so big.
So Starla, are you a gamer that likes to go to the board game stores and cafes, or do you prefer the home gaming?
No, she's not. No.
Tell us the truth, Starla.
No.
I actually like playing, with a group of friends that I like to play with.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the conventions with Big because he likes to go.
I have to drag her.
And, but again, just going into a table with people I don't know sometimes can be not intimidating for me per se, but I just like to play with people that I know. But I do go because you do learn something. I haven't been to one convention yet where I didn't find a game that I liked and we wanted to buy and we bought and took home. So that's one of the benefits of going, is that you learn something.
Sure.
You meet some new people. We always end up meeting someone.
Yeah, we do.
And so, I'm not going to say I want to go. He usually takes me.
Yes.
Verla wants to know, are you guys going to be traveling to Dallas for BGG Spring? Any chance?
No. Not this year.
Sean says he's going to be in Houston next Friday. You guys need to hook up on Facebook or on Messenger.
Hey, messengers, we're here.
Sean, you heard that.
Our family plays games. We're here.
Check it out on Facebook. Our family plays games. Hey, I did miss something from our friend Chenier. He gave us a little hint there. He says, it's coming soon. Ooh.
Oh.
Now wait, a new game or
a new game?
Oh
Oh, a new
man.
game. Okay.
A new game coming soon from Shania LaSalle.
All right. Okay.
Ooh, we'll have to get him back on the show and give a good scoop once it's announced. So that would be fun. Oh, there's another message from him. He says, lots of game designer circles in Houston too. Miklos and Starla are familiar with Kevin Nunn and the role he and his group play in Houston. I don't know Kevin Nunn. Tell us the story there.
Well, Kevin Nunn is kind of like the godfather of board gaming designers here in the Houston area. And if you want to have your game known and tested, you got to get in touch with Kevin Nunn. And he runs a group at a bar not too far from here that they do kind of like unpub days during the week, and they just try designers' games.
That sounds like a kind of guy that we need to, bring in a couple people for our GoPub section. Because I'll tell you, we had a lot of gamers trying out the different games. We had the Board Game Brothers from New Orleans. We had a guy who had are you guys familiar with Clank? You've played Clank?
What? Yes, we love Clank.
Imagine a Harry Potter themed Clank game.
Okay.
That is exactly like the movies. In other words, it's not just Clank running around trying to collect treasure. You actually go through the steps of all of the books inside the game. So it's a thematic version of Clank. Okay. And it was on a board, I don't even know, 3 feet by 3 feet big with all he said he spent about $1,000 making the prototype because it looks amazing. Yeah. And that's not what he would actually sell, but he's trying to get the companies that have the licenses for both of the games to come together and make a Harry Potter themed Clank. When I say that game was played all day, non-stop, people played that game. I mean, you're combining, a great game like Clank with a great IP like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. So Houston, Kevin Nunn is the guy to talk to over there.
Kevin Nunn.
Is that right?
Yes. Good guy. He's a good guy.
Jesse Fernandez says, hey, a Gumbo chat room and the Fitches. So he's telling you guys, hey.
Hey, hello.
Good to see you, Jesse. We hadn't seen you in a while. Nice to see you back in. So BJ from Board Game Gumbo, I've got my guests, Miklos and Starla Fitch from Our Family Plays Games. Let's talk about some of the games you guys have been playing recently, including one of my favorites, a game that was put out by Eggertspiel, Coimbra. You guys are big fans of Coimbra, I hear.
Yes.
Go ahead, Starla. Say your piece.
I mean, I like the game. We actually were introduced to it at one of our friends' home, who they have a collection that's out of this world. It's got to be at least
600 games.
Yeah, 500 games in the house. So whenever we go to our home, it's like going to a game store. And so whenever we go, we always see something new. So this was a new one that they pulled out. And we played it with 5 people.
No, 4.
It was 4 of us. And with 4 people, I thought it was great. There's a lot of strategy. A lot of interaction with the game. We actually got a copy for ourselves, and we played it with 2 people. And I didn't like it as much with 2 people. But I do like it with 4 people.
Yeah, because you have to put the little dummy, the dummy player with the dummy dice there, and
right.
That kind of,
I didn't really like that.
Yeah.
I've had some people complain about those little cardboard, the dice things, that it kind of takes some of the fun of the strategy. Yeah. Part of the game, the part of the fun of Coimbra is that mental thought about what is Miklos going to do? What is Starla going to do? How much do I need to bid? Do I really need to grab that dice? But man, I really need an orange one. But he's going to take the card I need. I better grab that purple 6, even though I don't need a purple, right? And I guess you kind of lose that in the 2-player game. Is that how y'all felt?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Because you have that little dummy there. You know what the dummy dice are always going to take. You always know, like, oh yeah, that 5 is going to take something.
Right.
But, when you play with humans, you don't know what in the world they're going to do. So that's what we kind of like, the 4 game. Yeah.
So the 2-player game kind of fell flat for you guys. But what did you like about Coimbra? What about its mechanics drew to you guys?
The combination of drafting cards and a little bit of worker placement, that's pretty cool. I was like, man, they threw in everything with this, so I like that.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, for us, I think it's the combination, like you said, of the multi-purpose dice. Yeah. I don't see that too often in games. We've been enjoying a game called Marco Polo that Jason Dinger told me about once he saw how much we liked Coimbra, that also has that multi-use dice. But the combination of using those multi-use dice and the drafting of the cards
Yeah.
And then that cool monastery mechanic where you're moving your meeple all around the board.
Moving around, yeah.
Right.
You know, what I liked about that is it gave people multiple paths to victory.
Yeah.
Are you going to focus on just getting as many high-valued cars so that you have those in-game scoring at the end? Are you going to focus on using the cheap dice, but still maximizing the tracks that you have? You see the tracks there on the left side of that picture?
Yeah.
Or are you going to use the monastery to zoom around the board, grab all the best, the freebies that you can get on all those little monastery tiles, and then hit the big in-game scoring monastery tiles in the corners?
Yeah.
You know, everybody's got a kind of different strategy. And then you throw in the voyages. If you look at that solo shot, you have those. No, you can't see them.
You can't see the voyages.
Yeah, let me see if I can get it.
At the bottom. Yeah.
Still can't see it.
No, I can't see them. No.
You can kind of see them there a little bit. Nope, that's too far. Yeah, you can't really see them on those. But there they are. All right, there we go. Those voyage cars. I can see where people. That's one thing you got to pay attention to. I've never seen anybody use it as a winning strategy, but I've seen a lot of people use it as getting over the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's Coimbra from Eggertspiel game. It was always in the top 3. I debated between that and Detective as my favorite game of the last year. The more I played Coimbra, and I never got to play much of Detective after the playing it at Gen Con, it kind of leaped into that first spot, and I think I'm just going to stick with Coimbra as my game of the year.
I think for me, Dinosaur Island. Really love that game. Yeah.
What about you, Starla? What was your favorite game experience of 2018?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Dinosaur Island?
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
No, Happy Pigs.
Oh God, Happy
Pigs. That's the one.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know this one. What is this?
God, it is so cute. We played it at our friend's home, Kim, and it's called Happy Pigs, and you're a pig farmer, and you've got to decide whether you're going to raise the pigs or sell them or get rid of them.
Yeah.
It's such a cute
go
game.
Through different seasons.
Yeah,
and stuff.
you go through seasons, and it's timed. And
see, for Starla,
so
the game has to be super cute in order for it to really get bought and brought into the house. It has to be super cute. Yeah,
it's a cute one.
Yes.
So I think that's my favorite this year.
Yeah.
That is Happy Pig. I can honestly say I don't know that one. So
yes.
I am curious about that one. Happy, do you know the manufacturer or anything?
No.
Oh,
No. I don't know who did that.
I don't know. We have to look it up on Board Game.
Yeah.
BJ from Board Game Gumbo. I've got my guest Starla and Miklos Fitch. They're from our Family Plays Games, and we've been talking about some of the spiciest games they played. Here's one that I got to play at the Southern Board Game Fest. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. It's called City of Gears, and it's published by Gray Fox Games.
Okay.
Have you guys played any of the Gray Fox games? Deception or Champions of Midgard or any of those games?
Champions of Midgard. Yes. Love it.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. Well, this is a game designed by Daryl Andrews and Chris Leader. I think originally by Chris Leader, and Daryl came in and batted some cleanup there and helped him focus the game near the end. Mm-hmm. It was a Kickstarter game from Gray Fox Games that's out now in retail. It's one my buddy Alex Goldsmith and Ninja, who comes on the show every once in a while. Jeremy taught me over at BGG Con. Do you like engine builders like a Gizmos or a Century Spice Road or a Splendor?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. We have those.
Okay. All right, good. Yeah. So City Gears has that engine building mechanic, but in this case, you've got 3 robots, and you can get 3 more if you want, that you're going to send out into this city that you have to uncover. So I love my tile laying games like New York 1901, but in this case, the tiles are already laid out. You just have to go out there and flip the tiles.
Okay.
Once you get those tiles flipped, they have 2 mechanics on them. They're either something that you pay and you get something back, sort of like a
Oh.
He froze on us.
Where'd he go?
Where'd he go?
Hello?
BJ.
Hey, hang in there, Fitches.
We're here.
Okay, good. Every once in a while we get one of those little server burps. I apologize. So I was saying it's an engine builder where when the tiles get flipped, the tiles themselves will have that trade mechanic where you pay something and something good happens, like you do in a Splendor or Gizmos, right?
Yeah.
But it also has kind of a chaining mechanic. So where if you can string together a bunch of tiles and connect them all with your robots, when you take that first mechanic, every other one pops and gives you good things, right? Sort of like the way you start getting in Potion Explosion, you start grabbing balls, and all of a sudden, all of the balls are creating this big explosion, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what City Gears is like. It plays quickly, about 45 minutes,
Okay.
and it has one cool mechanic that I will tell you. So I see Verla saying, "Hey, it's one she wants to play." I'm gonna warn everybody. The one thing that it has that's controversial is you don't know when the game's going to end. And when it ends immediately in the middle of your turn. I've never seen this before. You could be in the middle of your turn, but if there's four white gears that are thrown in the bag where you pull out your gears. And if you draw 3 of those gears, when the third gear is pulled, the instructions say the game ends immediately. Whoa. And boy, that is disheartening to people because they're like, but I've got so much more to do in my turn. Sorry, the game's over. Yes. So I want to warn people about that, but just to know that. There's Verla saying, like Gizmos, Splendor, Spice Road, keep talking. What do you guys like about engine builders like Splendor or Gizmos? What do you like about that?
Well, it's just another mechanic that we enjoy, just building and it's just another mechanic we love. We love all the games that we play, and any kind of mechanism you throw our way, we'll do it. I mean, if you throw us, Terra Mystica, which made our head hurt in the beginning, but now we play it like it's no joke. So, I mean, you throw a mechanic at us, we'll go for it.
But for me, Splendor is one that when we do any type of game con or convention or we're teaching, that's the one I always bring out.
That's an easy one,
especially for people of color, because it has components that we like. I grew up playing cards, and my dad was a poker player. I'm a poker player. I still play Texas Hold'em. So you've got these beautiful poker weight chips with Splendor, and you've got cards, you've got numbers. So those are things that are familiar. And so people kind of resonate. And every time I've ever taught Splendor, people just love it. We had our convention, the 2-day one, and this one girl liked it so much on Friday, she brought her parents back on Saturday, and they played Splendor all day.
And still play it all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just one of those games that resonate. If you know the audience, if you know the people of color, that we play cards and dominoes and we like, poker type games, that's going to be one that resonates, and that's the first thing I would introduce them to is Splendor. So it's a great game.
That's a great choice. It looks so good on the table. It's so easy to teach. Yet, boy, there's a lot of strategy in there, and that's the perfect kind of a gateway game.
It's perfect.
It is.
BJ from Board Game Gumbo. I've got my guests Starla and Miklos Fitch, and I'm going to let you guys talk about a game that maybe I haven't been as excited about as you, and that's Blue Lagoon from Reiner Knizia. I think it's a blue-orange game, who, by the way, published New York 9-2-1 from our friend Chenier LaSalle. Tell me, I need you guys to sell me. What do you guys like about Blue Lagoon? What am I missing?
Last week, BJ said on his show that he was not a fan of Blue Lagoon. And I said, oh my God. I said, let me tell Starla. So sell him, Starla.
Well, to be honest, when we first put it on the table, I wasn't a fan either. But after we played it, oh my God, I don't know if it's, and I'm not a big area control person.
No, she's not.
I'm really not. But once you get into it, and we played it with our son, so there are 3 of us playing this game, and he blocked me out, and it just frustrated me. So the next day, I had to figure out how to get in there and win it. So it is so simple. It looks simple, but then the strategy is what gets you. So I just fell in love with it. If you don't like it, BJ, you got to try it again. I really like it.
Well, I'd like to say it was the company that I was playing it with Ninja there, but that's not true because I love playing games with Ninja. It could be that I was whooping his butt in the first half. We did the scoring, and then he figured out what he needed to do in the second half, and he whooped my behind, and I ended up losing the game. That could be it, but I lose games all the time, so it can't be that, in my opinion.
But, it's such a score. It's so many things you can score with. You can try to hit every island, with the chain, or you can try to chain as many islands as you can,
or collect
all the little resources. There's so many things you can do, and that's that's Reiner Knizia himself. But it's just so much you can do to try to win and try to watch out. if somebody's trying to block you, because you can use all your chips just trying to get around the block. So it's fun that way. It's really, really fun.
I thought it was so much fun.
Yeah.
There was two things that I was impressed with it. Number one, I did like the art on the front of the box, and the let's face it, it looks awesome on the table.
Yeah.
It's got all these colors and it's got all these little wooden pieces. And the second one is something that Miklos said before we started the show. You reminded me about the price. Boy, it gives you a lot of bang for the buck, don't you think, Miklos?
$25 and you get really nice components for $25. You can't beat that at all.
Yeah, you guys are selling me on it. I think I'm always willing to give a game. Yeah, I'm always willing to give a game a second chance. And Steph Hodge, she loves this game. I've never played the original Through the Desert, but this is one I would like to try. I'll probably have to try Blue Lagoon again. We didn't have a copy in the library. At least I didn't see it, so I wasn't able to try it this time. But Jeremy, this is for you. The Fitches have convinced me to take you on one more time.
One more time.
In Blue Lagoon. Now, speaking of engine builders, although Blue Lagoon is not an engine builder, but talking about Splendor, Marshall Wells says he got to play Wingspan at the Fest this weekend. It's got a nice bit of engine building, and it just looks beautiful on the table. Are there any wild copies over there in Houston? Because it's a hard game to get.
BJ, I will tell you, I have not seen Wingspan nowhere in Houston. I mean, I don't know where in the world it is, but we have not seen one in a while. Not at all.
Oh, that's tough. That's a tough break. Mine is still on order. My friendly local game store, Anubis Game and Hobby over there in Broussard, they've been trying desperately to try to get one. I am a Stonemeyer champion, and I just forgot to order. Oh, so Marshall corrects me. He says Blue Lagoon was there, and he got to play it. So Marshall, we're curious here. Settle the debate. We got the Fitches saying it's a really good game. BJ needs to try one more time, and I'm saying I'll try it maybe, but I'm still on the fence. I want to hear what Marshall has to say and to see if he likes it. But back to Wingspan, it's been really tough to get. The good news, as you guys know, is Jamie Stegmeyer has said, hey, we didn't expect 30,000 people would clear out all of the inventory we had worldwide.
Yeah. And
he's got 2 more shipments coming in April and May. So hopefully it's going to be in your game stores pretty soon.
Well, I love Jamie's games. I love Via Culture and, Scythe. I have everything of Scythe. Starla hates Scythe because it's area control and it's war. But
where were you this weekend? We had a Scythe tournament. You would have loved it.
Next year. I'm coming next year. Me and Starla are coming next year for sure. That's not far, so we're coming. Because we know about it now, so we're coming. But Scythe, that's my top 3. I have a big top 3. It's Terraforming Mars, a Scythe, and it's 5 tribes. So, I mean, I love Scythe so much. Now, Starla, she doesn't like Via Culture because she said it was too much like work. But, I love that one too. So I have no problem with his games. And I want to try Wingspan. I mean, everybody's talking about it, and I want to try it, but can't find it.
Miklos, I want you to take a look at this picture. Starla, does this give you the shivers or does this get you excited? This is the final board of our Scythe tournament.
Yes.
Robert has, just like you, he's got everything for the game, but he actually went out and painted all of the mechs he even has grass on the bottom of the mechs, little painted grass on there.
Yeah.
And look what he put in the middle. He built this 3D model of the factory.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? I mean, playing on a copy like this, what a thrill, man.
Yeah, I love it.
Marshall says, give it another play. It's got very tight gameplay, especially once you get to the second phase. You guys agree?
Yes. Second phase is when it's really tight. That's when you really have to battle it out. Yeah.
But if you didn't make the right choices in the first phase, you've lost already.
You have. Yes, you have.
You got to make the right choices in the first phase.
Yeah.
Period.
Oh, y'all are convinced me. All right, Marshall, I'm gonna drive up to Alec and we're gonna play us some Blue Lagoon and get that. Steve's got a good point. There will be more copies of Wingspan. No worries. Jamie's not gonna leave money on the table that could be converted into sales. He's a businessman, you know that. He's gonna get to that. So good. We'd love to see you guys next year at the convention, and I know we're gonna have that side tournament again. Oh, we lost the Fitches there. Hopefully we can bring them back in there. They disappeared on us. BJ from Board Game Gumbo here, talking about the convention has made me thinking about all the different things that happen. right before the game because we're about to go to the game. That would have been, I hate for them to miss that. That was one of the things that we had also. One of the neat things we had over at the convention was we had our friends from iHeart Board Games show up, and for 12 hours, they broadcast all of our tournament coverage. Of our convention coverage. The Southern Board Game Festival was lucky enough to have Jason Dinger, and oh, look, we got him coming back in there. Was lucky enough to have Jason Dinger. And the iHeart Board Games people were able to interview him. Hey, we got you back?
Yeah, we're back. Yes.
Glad to see you. I was just telling Steve, I said, boy, I hope they're not quitting just because the game's about to start.
No, we're not gone.
Oh, good. BJ from Board Game Gumbo. I see that, Steve. Thanks. I got that one covered. I think we just had a little glitch there. So BJ from Board Game Gumbo, I've got my guests Starla and Miklos Fitch from Our Family Plays Games. You guys know what this show is all about. It's a show about board games.
Yeah.
And of course we got to play a board game on a show about board games, right?
Oh, no, we don't. No.
We don't have to, but we're going to anyway. All right, so one of the games we like to play, especially with people that play a lot of games like you guys with the Gateway games, it's called the Jambalaya games. Now, look, somebody from Houston knows what good jambalaya means, right?
No, we know barbecue. This is
barbecue.
Barbecue.
Oh, I bet y'all can find some good jambalaya if y'all look. Papa Do's has some good jambalaya.
Yeah, we can. We can find some.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse's ready for the jambalaya game. He is ready for it. So let's get this thing started. So the way it works, as you know, we take a game and then we try to take things about the guests or just fun things and we mash them up into a different word. In this case, you're gonna love this. We actually looked at your BGG page and you got a bunch of games on there, Miklos.
Yes.
So
we do.
These are going to be games from your collection, so hopefully that'll help you guys out. Let me give you the starter example so that you can kind of see what we're doing. Some of them are going to be mashups where it's two words combined together. Some of them will be just plain old puns. But the first one I got for you is one of the first worker placement games that people like to play. But watch out for the infamous Love Shack. So,
Stone Age.
So right, Hugh Stone Age.
Yes.
Is the mashup there? Houston and Stone Age, Hugh Stone Age. And Steve was wondering, he's like, well, it doesn't sound like that. I said, well, you got to understand the way the Cajuns say Houston is we say Houston, va Houston. So that's where we came from. So you guys are ready? You understand the rules and you know how the game's played?
Yeah. You got
All right, good. So let's go with the first one. With a patchwork of crazy colors, this baseball team had an amazing run in the Indian summer of 2017.
Yes, Patrick. Astroworks.
So it's Astros, you said, right?
Astro Patch. Astrowork.
So think about the designer of the game Patchwork and quote Indian summer.
Okay, Indian.
I have no idea.
He made Uwe. Uwe Rosenberg.
Okay.
Patchwork and
I'm not sure.
Agricola.
Okay.
So what baseball team had an amazing run to the World Series in 2017?
That's the Astros.
That's
That's Astros.
Yeah.
All right, so you got the designer and you got the team. Let's see if you can mash those together.
Astroberg.
Uwe Astroberg. That's exactly right.
See? Uwe Astroberg.
Uwe Astrosenberg. That's exactly right. They got it. Nice job.
Astros, number one.
Astros, number one. We'll see how they're going to do this year.
They're going to do good.
They still haven't signed Dallas, right? He's still a free agent. Is that right?
Still a free agent, but we're going to get him.
All right, number two. It's a sunny day at the beach for one of the best Dodger players who broke the color barrier in 1947. A sunny day at the beach. Nice job, Kevin. Kevin says Uwe Astrosenberg. That's exactly right, Kevin. Don't forget, they're a little bit behind on the chat with the delay, so they'll be coming in with the answers. But that was a nice job, Kevin. You can always count on Kevin to think. He and Steve, I think, share a brain.
That's
Robinson Crusoe.
Robinson Crusoe.
Oh, Starla, nice job. Woo, that was the quick one.
She don't even play Robinson Crusoe. She don't even like it.
But I remember it.
Let me tell you, BJ, this woman does not like co-ops. She doesn't.
I didn't know that, Starla.
Does not like that. We don't have pandemic in our collection at all. That's the one gateway we don't have.
Is it because of the win-loss ratio, or is it just you like to run the game yourself?
She wants to beat up on everybody.
I like to run the game.
One of the first cooperative games that I played that I still play with my nieces and nephews is Castle Panic by Fireside Games.
Yeah.
Now look, it's very simple when you play it on easy mode, but they have expansions and they have other little things that you can ratchet up the thing. Also, Pandemic is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
So if you ever guys get a chance,
I've played it, and she just doesn't want to play it. Yeah, I played it. Yeah.
It's just not for her, huh?
No,
that's tough. No. All those co-ops. There's a bunch out there. Keep checking around. You might find something you like. All right, let's go to number 3. A small box game of cowboy goodness mashed up with a breakfast of eggs, peppers, ham, and cheese. What are we talking about there? It's a small box game of cowboy goodness, and that's the key. Small box mashed up with a breakfast of eggs, peppers, ham, and cheese.
Okay, that's an omelet. And then I got Tiny Epic Western.
Maybe it's Tiny Epic, but...
Tiny Epic omelet?
Tiny Epic, what kind of omelet? With peppers and cheese?
Omelet?
Tiny Epic...
I would say Huevos Ranchero, but that's...
Cowboy goodness mashed up with peppers, ham, and cheese.
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what that is. No.
What Tiny Epic game has cowboys in it?
It's in Westerns.
So Tiny Epic...
Western omelet?
Western omelet?
That's it, the Western omelet.
All right.
The old Western omelet. Oh, Sean was close. He said the Denver omelet. That's a good call, but it's some people call the Denver omelet. If I remember right, some people call the Denver omelet the Western omelet.
That's my least favorite Tiny Epic too. Yeah, that's my least favorite.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of it either.
No.
Yeah. It was dry for me.
Yeah, me too.
I did not like it.
The best one, Galaxies. That the first, that's the one. Galaxies.
I haven't played it, but my buddy Dustin says, in his opinion, it's also the best one. Mine is the Quest. I like Tiny Epic Quest.
I like Quest too. Yeah.
Hey, there's Bradley checking in. Tiny Epic Western omelet. That's exactly right. Yeah, the chat room's running on it. All right, ready for number 4?
Let's do it.
If you look closely at a pharaoh's pyramid, you can see the hieroglyphs marking his tombstone. It's his... What do we call that? The hieroglyphs marking the pharaoh's tombstone. If you look at his pyramid, what do you think it is?
What you got?
It starts with
is that right, Sean? It is the Denver omelet and the Western omelet is the same. Good. That's what I thought.
Oblique?
Is it the
No.
What do we have?
We have Thebes.
Is it Thebes?
We have Thebes.
But that's not a tombstone.
No, it's not a tombstone.
No, Kevin, the omelet wasn't dry. I was talking about Tiny Epic Westerns.
Thebes
was kind of dry to me. Sorry about that.
Imhotep.
Bradley, no question. Oh, Imhotep, she's getting close. All right, so we got Imhotep. You can see the hieroglyphs marking his tombstone.
What tombstone game do we have?
Tombstone. Egyptian tombstone.
So Bradley, you know your foods, but Bradley, do you know your tombstones? Your writings on a tombstone?
Now we have Thebes.
That's not Imhotep Thebes.
Imhotep Thebes?
No.
Well, Stone Age.
We just said Stone Age.
No. Settlers.
Oh, Settlers of the Stone Age.
No.
No. Well, I've got Imhotep. You have to get the rest of it.
Starla's right on that one. She got the game.
I got that one. So what's the rest of it? I don't know.
What do you call stuff marked on a person's tombstone? What is that called?
Epitaph.
Got to mash them together.
Imhotep epitaph.
That's it.
Yeah.
Y'all have got it. Imhotepitaph.
BJ, you didn't hear her. She said, "What about is it that game I don't like?" Yeah.
Yeah. Starla, Miklos, and I were talking about it before the show started. You're not a big fan of Imhotep, I hear.
Oh.
My wife is not a fan. She says it's just too mean.
Yeah, I just don't care for it.
Yeah, Kevin and Bradley were very close. They both were right behind you.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Well, the feed is still going.
Yeah,
It's just he's. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, there you are.
What's up? We still there? Okay,
You're
good.
still there. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Number 5.
All right.
How about an awesome car racing game, but we're going to mash it up with a fantasy novel about rabbit society and mythology?
An mythology.
What board game are we talking about there? A car racing game mashed up with a fantasy novel about rabbit society and mythology.
Rabbit society and mythology.
Is that Lovecraft?
I don't know. Downforce.
Downforce.
You lost me. I'm not.
We have Downforce.
They've got the game, Steve. Can they figure out what book is all about rabbit societies and mythology? Kevin, we can talk about how wonderful Emotep. And by the way, Kevin, if you haven't tried it, they've got the big expansion for Emotep and another one on the way, a standalone duel game, Emotep Duels. That's got me kind of excited. Oh, Kevin's got it. He stole it from y'all. Sorry about that. Watership Downforce.
Yeah, Watership Downforce. Yeah.
Watership Down is that novel about rabbits leaving home. Really cool novel. I read that a long time ago. All right, good job, Kevin, on that one. All right, number 6. Here we go. Gateway game of set collection at its finest, accompanied by a Wagnerian opera. So we're talking about when we're talking gateway games, it's the gateway game of gateway games. It's all about set collection, but it's accompanied by a Wagnerian opera. Sorry about that. Ooh.
It's Ticket to Ride, but Ticket to what's the opera?
Oh, Brad, that's true. Red Wall and Downforce together would have been interesting. Yep.
Ticket to
Sean, totally agree. The New Dynasty expansion, man, you get so many more boards, and some of the boards are crazy. I mean, I really like the one where you have the Bradley would have to help me. I can't remember the name of it. It's got the little planks that you have to build on top. It's really cool.
You sure? It's Ticket to Ride.
All right, so they've got the game, chat room. Can you guys steal it from? Oh, Sean's got it. Sean, I knew you were going to get it. I didn't want to say anything because if I said Sean's going to get it.
Ticket to Ride of the Valkyries.
Ticket to Ride of the Valkyries. That's right. Ride of the Valkyries, one of the famous Richard Wagner operas. Wow, nice job. Oh, Bradley getting sniped again by Sean. Wow. Oh, they're so clue. That's right. The chat. Steve's right. You guys are helping the chat because y'all are picking up the games every time.
Game. What's in our collection? We know them. We know our collection now. That's one thing.
One of you guys are gonna have to pronounce that one because I'm not gonna be able to do that.
I don't know that.
That does not look Cajun, is it? I don't think so.
No, that's not Cajun. No.
Definitely German.
All right, here we go. Next one up. Another one that Sean's gonna steal from Bradley, I think, is Jerry Garcia. This game is all about hidden traitor. Is Jerry Garcia the hidden traitor of the zombie apocalypse? What game are we talking about?
That's me.
Yeah, that's one of yours.
Yeah, that's
So I don't do zombie apocalypse games. So.
Steve, kudos to you, man. These are some great clues. You really did a good job this week. I'm enjoying these. And you didn't make me sing. That's even better.
We got it. Grateful Dead of Winter.
Oh, he's got it. Way to go.
Yes.
Nice one.
Another game Starla won't play.
Starla, overrated. I didn't like it either.
Oh, no, it's not. No. Love Dead of Winter. Love it.
Yeah.
Except for that die. That the killer die is not cool. It's not cool.
Yeah, it fell flat for me. Sorry about that. Kevin said Grateful Dead of Winter.
Yeah.
So he's in the chat room. He was first on that one. So good job on that. All right, here we go. How about this one? An English rock band famous for the song "Smoke on the Water," but they like to play D&D themed worker placement games. What are we talking about there?
Lords of Waterdeep.
Beals.
Oh, chat room. They're just throwing up layups for y'all. Here's the not layups. I mean, here's the setups for y'all. Here's an alley-oop.
I'm not sure about the other part, but I know it's Lords of Waterdeep.
Lords of Waterdeep.
Oh, Sean's got it already. Lords
Already?
of Water, deep purple. Deep purple. Smoke on the water. Bom, 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 bom. Oh, I can't do that. All right. Jesse says Credence Deepwater. Yeah, that would have been a good one. All right, here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Kirsten Bell and her husband Dax Shepard, they love board games. I don't know if you guys know that. They're probably the most famous celebrities that love to play board games.
Yeah.
I'll bet her most famous TV show character would love playing a game about colonizing the red planet.
Terraforming Mars.
Yeah.
And what's her character?
What's the character?
Oh, she's on the Heaven Show. She's she's on the Heaven Show. It's on NBC. I don't know the name of her
Terraforming Heaven?
No.
character.
Okay.
Good guess.
Character. Yeah, but I know she's on the, the one where she's supposed to.
She's the bad girl who.
This is one of my clues, by the way, because I don't think Steve's ever seen the show.
I haven't either. But I know
Oh, Sean Jones got it. Terraforming Veronica Mars.
Veronica Mars.
Veronica Mars.
That's
Way back.
If you haven't seen, oh no, yeah, this is way back, 10, 12 years ago. If you haven't seen Veronica Mars, fantastic show. Man, it might be even older than 10, 12 years ago. I don't even remember how old that show is.
Yeah, that's way back.
What a great show. All right, here we go. Here's the next one.
Okay.
Al Pacino. You guys know Al Pacino?
Yes.
What's he like? I've never met him.
No, we don't know.
Al Pacino, at his scenery stealing, chewing worst, will lead your dungeon crawl party to either glory or doom. Hooah!
That's Gloomhaven.
Oh, Gloomhaven. I don't know what Al Pacino though.
You know Al Pacino.
I know the actor.
Oh, I just got it, Kevin. I didn't catch it the first time. Yeah, it's a family show. Come on, Sean. It's a family show.
How does he go with Gloomhaven? I don't know. That's on you.
I don't know.
Verla wants to know, Starla, were you thinking of The Good Place?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
The Good Place.
Verla helping you out there. All right, Al Pacino at his scenery chewing worst will lead your dungeon crawl part. Oh, Sean's already got it. Sorry, guys. It's Descent of a Woman.
Descent. Oh, it's Descent. See,
that's Steve. He's very, very clever. He's a clever boy.
See, we're thinking about the new one we have is Gloomhaven. We got Gloomhaven, so we thought it was that.
Bradley, are you playing the game tonight? Because I keep seeing Sean get all these answers every time, man. I'm assuming Bradley's out there playing.
Yeah.
All right, we got two left. You guys ready?
All right.
Here's your chance of redemption. The last two. Here we go.
Yes.
I can't believe Steve wrote this one. This is not mine.
Okay.
If your hemorrhoids were killing you, after a long day of sitting in the bazaar collecting rubies, the medical trading game you'd be playing is... Steve, you're killing me with this one.
It has the the relative that goes to jail.
Yeah, it's relative that goes to jail.
I know. What's the name of that one?
What's the name of that one? Oh my God, we like that one.
I know. Istanbul.
But what's the medical?
Istanbul.
What's that?
Hemorrhoids?
Istanbul.
Steve, your clues are great. They've been getting every single game back to back to back.
You got a medical condition.
Yeah.
And you got to go to the hospital. So what's that?
Maybe.
Well, yeah, maybe.
You got to go to a doctor, but
yeah.
I don't know. I got the game. You got to figure the rest of it.
Miklos, you got to do your part. Starla keeps getting the games.
I'm trying. I can't get it. Istanbul.
That's all I can do.
That's the one you picked.
I know. I love it.
You picked that. Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah, you picked that one.
Okay.
No, we surrender. We surrender. We
Yeah, chat room. Let's see if the chat room can get it. This is a tough one. I'm going to tell you, this is a tough one. I wouldn't have gotten this one. If your hemorrhoids were killing you after a long day of sitting in the bazaar collecting rubies, the medical trading game you'd be playing, what doctor would you go to see for your hemorrhoids? What kind of doctor?
What kind of doctor?
It's something. It's
Stem butt?
Bull butt.
Istanbul butt?
Oh, Kevin's got it.
What's
The
that?
Proctologistanbul.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. What? Who did that? Oh, come on.
I love that reaction. Oh, that's awesome.
To Dice Hospital. Shoot.
Yes, I agree. I agree. That was a tough one. All right, let's go to an easy one, right? Let's
All right.
finish up with a nice taste in our
Yeah.
mouth. A nice, easy one. After that hemorrhoid.
Woo.
Oh no.
Oh, no. Still good.
Wait,
We
you're
still
frozen.
going. We're still going.
You're frozen.
You
Okay,
there?
there you
Okay,
go,
you're
there
there.
you go,
All right,
okay.
you're there. Yeah.
Sorry about that. I don't know. I'm looking at my internet and nothing's going wrong. I don't know what's going on with this thing. All right, here we go. This 2-player trick-taking game is like a box of chocolates.
Yes.
You never know what sly animal you will find in the woods.
Fox in the woods. Fox in the hound.
Yeah, it's Fox. It's Fox in the Forest.
Fox in the forest.
But we gotta have the combination. Box of chocolate.
Forest. Fox in the forest Gump.
She's
yeah.
got it, Steve.
Yes. Yes.
Woo!
I like Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Nice job. That was a
Well, I
great
beat the
one.
game because I beat you in that. That's the one game I can beat you in. Yes.
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 The Fox and the Forest Gump. That was a good way to close it out. You guys did fantastic. Woo! So you guys survived the jambalaya game.
Oh, yay!
Great
Yes.
time.
Yes.
Hey, how about those clues from Steve? Steve did a good job with the clues
He
tonight,
did.
don't you think?
He did go through our collection. He did.
Yeah, all those games. Hey, you talked about it, Downforce and all these other games, all games that you liked. There's even Verla was chiming in. She was right there on there. Fox and the Forest Gump.
Fox and Forrest Gump. Yeah.
Nicely done. All right, board gamers, that's it for another episode of Gumbo Live. I want to thank my guests, Starla and Miklos. We've been waiting a long time to get you guys on here, and you guys were a hoot. I really had a fantastic time. You guys have Our Family Plays Games, but how can people best reach you guys?
Starla?
Just go on Facebook, go to Our Family Plays Games. They can message us, like our page, of course, and see what we play, because we play something every week.
And we're also on Instagram at
Instagram.
Our Family Plays Games on Instagram, and come check us out there too.
Exactly.
We're kind of happy because we just went over 1,000 likes on Instagram. So
Wow. Congratulations.
thank you.
That's a big page. You guys are really growing. Make sure to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/BoardGameGumbo. It helps us to get the word out about all of our upcoming guests and shows, including another married couple coming in next week, Spencer and Laura from Married with Board Games. Do you remember them from the Dice Tower? They've got a new thing they call the Light Initiative. They want to bring happiness and joy back to board games. 2018, there was a lot of people complaining in board games, and they want to bring some light and fun and happiness to them. So I can't wait to see them. I haven't seen them since Dice Tower Con a couple of years ago. It's going to be good to check in with them. That was a great episode, Miklos and Starla. You guys are just rocking it on your Facebook page and on the Instagram, and I love what you guys are doing on the spiel. Keep up the good work, and I'm counting you. I'm holding to your word. I want to see you guys in Lafayette next year.
We're coming.
Definitely.
We're coming.
All right, everybody. Until next time, I'm BJ from Board Game Gumbo. Laissez le bon temps rouler.
All right.
Bye, BJ.
All right. Howdy.